Howdy howdy, this is Crafty Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Sentry and Punisher 2099 arenas and then do some trend analysis and jump to round 2 predictions. So first let's take a look at round 1 results. So for Sentry 4-star feature aka Captain Pillowhands, he came in at a 18.1 million cutoff, and this is after the word start getting around that he's a pretty soft champion, not the Century Science champ we were hoping for. And then for the top 10%, shard tier came in at 4.5 million, with the 11% shard tier coming in at right around 2.1 million cutoff. Then for Punisher 2099, the top 10% to get the champ came in at 2.7 million cutoff, with 11 to 25% coming in at 1.55 million. And lastly, for the 3-star feature Sentry Arena, his cutoff was 1.48 million, with 11 to 25% shard tier coming in at 656,000. So how did those results actually compare to my round 1 predictions? What I'm going to do a little bit different, and I'll be posting a year in review 2017 arena cutoff video shortly that will describe this a bit more. But instead of using simple X and check marks for kind of grading my predictions, I'm actually going to be using a grading scale similar to the 4.0 grading scale from school. So A, B, C, and D kind of thing, and F of course. And so anyway, when looking at the my original first round prediction, that was actually a decent one. It was above the actual cutoff and within 10%. But I did come in with a revision once all the bad publicity, bad buzz started coming in with Century. I did come up with a revision around 17.5. Now this was actually a decent cutoff too. It was within 5%, but it was actually below. And then when it's actually below like that, that's actually B grading. But that first one was an A. The second one, and to be honest, my real prediction was kind of a B, within 5%, but under the actual cutoff. Now we jump over to Punisher 2099, my 3.2. That was a decent one, but it was over 500,000 from what reality is, and that's within what the actual cutoff was, and that's not within 10%. That's not actually within 15%. It's closer to 20%. Even though you got the champ, that's really just kind of like an average, a C grade type of prediction. And lastly, that 1.52 million. That's right where almost the 4-star or 3-star feature Sentry came in at, so that's a grade. So when and what's going to be nice with using this type of grading scale for my predictions, I'll be able to quickly come up with a cumulative for the year. And so far we're looking at a 3.0 B for my cumulative GPA predictions for 2018. Again, I'll have more information about this trading grading scale in my 2017 arena cutoff and review video, which should be coming up shortly, so keep an eye out for that. But anyway, on to round 2. When we look at the 4-star feature new champs arena results, you can see looking at some similar arenas. I threw in Taskmaster, even though that second round, we should probably throw that out because that's when there was a lot of problems with the game. But when you look at Morningstar, she had a pretty big drop from 17.9 to 11.2. Taskmaster, of course, had the drop from 16.8 to 11.3. But most recently, MODOK, you can see that he had a drop from 16.3 from 15.1. I think the one we should probably pay most close attention to is Morningstar, who's actually kind of a decent champ, and she had a pretty significant drop. I think MODOK really held between round 1 to round 2, but with Sentry I expect a pretty significant drop off similar to Morningstar versus the dropout that we saw from MODOK. And again, from Taskmaster, I should probably just hit that out, and I actually did for the 3-star arena, just because of the issues that were going on in the second round with the game itself. Now jumping over to the middle to the 4-star feature, the 4-star basic Punisher arena, you can see looking at some recent similar type arenas with Psylocke, Angel, and King Groot. In all cases, there was a jump from round 1 to round 2. Psylocke went up 600,000, Angel went up 500,000, and King Groot even went up almost 300,000 between round 1 and round 2. Which kind of makes sense, though, even though King Groot's not the best champ, because that regen when you dupe him is pretty nice. But anyway, you can even see with 11 to 25% here, there's a slight increase between round 1 and round 2. I think when it comes to Punisher 2099, you can expect a similar jump between Psylocke and Angel, somewhere in that neighborhood between round 1 and round 2 cutoffs. And then lastly, when we look at the 3-star feature arenas, you can see in all cases between Thor, Hela, and even MODOK, there was a drop between round 1 and round 2. even though the 11 to 25% tier actually had an increase in all three instances. So there was an increase in the shard tier, but actually a drop between round one and round two for the actual champ, him or herself. So anyway, taking all of this past trends into mind, here are my thoughts on what the round two predictions will be for the 4-star feature Sentry. I really think we're going to see a significant drop. Now that the word is out, the buzz is really out there that he's not a great champ, even though he does have that synergy coming up with Void. You can get a 3-star Sentry to get that same benefit. I really think that there's going to be a significant drop from round one to round two, at 4 million to be precise. I think if Morningstar can drop as significantly as she did, I think you're going to see Sentry drop quite a bit too. Now the shard tiers, though, I don't think they're going to drop. They're going to be consistent as we've seen for over the past months. I think you'll see 4.7 for the top 10%, and then for the 11%, you're going to see right around 2.1, 2.2 million again. Now for the 4-star basic with Punisher, you've seen those increases with Psylocke, Angela, very similar type numbers between round one. So I think between round one and round two, we're going to see a similar increase. I think it'll go up from 2.7 to 3.1 million for his cutoff, with 11 to 25% coming in at 1.75. And lastly, for the 3-star feature, again, it's pretty consistent. There's always a drop between round one to round two. It's really just a question of how much. I think we're going to see a couple 100,000 drop down to 1.15 million, and the 11 to 25% around 670,000. These again are my round two predictions. This is for the veterans bracket, meaning you've been playing the game, your account's been open for over 61 days. That's what these predictions relate to. Again, this is where I actually think the cutoffs will land. So anytime you're kind of planning your strategy on what you want to grind, I do recommend throwing a buffer just in case we have some unexpected exceptions or outliers kind of occur, which can happen all the time. As any good Wall Street analysts will tell you, or stock market analysts will tell you, past results, they're a good way to kind of gauge what might happen, but they do not guarantee future results. And that's definitely the case here from all the data that I've been seeing from the arena cutoff. So that being the case, I do recommend buffing where I think those cutoffs will be. I think if you really want to get Sentry, I don't know why, but if you really did want to get them, you want to go for about 50. Captain Soft Hands will probably be easily secured for 15 million. The top 10% will come in around 4.8 million. The top 10% for Punisher 2099 will be 3.2 million, with 11 to 25% at 1.8 million. That should be good and safe. And then if you want to feel safe with Sentry 3-star feature, go to about 1.2, a little bit over 1.2 million, and 11 to 25% go to 690 plus. So again, these grind targets as well as the predictions I shared are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the beginners and intermediate bracket, there's just not a ton of data out there for me to do any trend analysis again, so I just kind of update this on the fly, and it's just general rough ranges. If these don't work out, I do apologize, but just take these with a grain of salt. They're definitely only kind of rough ranges and nothing to really bank against. I know with the 2017 memory crystal, there was a number of folks that reported some really high numbers for the intermediate bracket 4-star feature, so I did bump this up to 2 million. Thank you very much, Keen Winner, for sharing some recent results. I think Sentry, he ranked like 140 or so, and he went to 2 million. So in the top 200 to get it, so that kind of gives you a sense. Maybe you would have got by with a 1.75, 1.8 million, that kind of thing. But if you really want to go to that 2 million kind of thing, 4-star basic 1.5, 3-star feature 650,000. For other folks out there that frequent my videos and are in the intermediate and beginner bracket, we'll love to hear your results as well as they come in over the upcoming weeks. Now for the beginners brackets, you can see as well 3-star feature 245, 4-star basic and 750, and 4-star feature 1 million. Please keep in mind these are just rough ranges. Definitely less data behind them than the veterans bracket information, but I did want to give folks a general sense of what I'm hearing from others. So hopefully this does help somewhat. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the grind targets, for the beginners brackets, intermediate brackets, rough ranges, grind targets, and round two predictions for the veterans bracket for the Sentry, aka Captain Soft Hands, Pillow Hands, whatever you want to call them, Stinky Champ, you name it. And then the Punisher 2099 second round cutoffs. Would love to hear your thoughts, any questions, especially any builds, any difference of opinions on these. Would love to hear about them. Throw them in the comment section. We can talk about them there. And if you did like this video, and if you find it helpful, would love to get a thumbs up on the video. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, would really appreciate a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Other than that, thank you very much for watching the video, and check you next time. Have a great day.